invited the stores to Walmart to meet me.
At this time, we'll call to order the City of Shamokin Council meeting April 14th, 2025. We'll recite the pledge and then a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Amen. Okay, we'll do roll call.
Councilman Duganitz,
Here.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Here.
Councilman Kaler,
Here.
Councilwoman Boyer.
Here.
And Mayor Over,
Here.
all present and accounted for.
Okay, at this time, do we have presentation?
No, sir.
Okay, we're gonna reverse on the agenda and go from bids to correspondence and then back to the bid. At this time, do you have one? Oh, that's not one.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Okay, or this one.
Michelle, Michelle. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's what I put up on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's with a sad regret, but I am tendering my letter of resignation effective immediately. And it is with much great regret, I'd like to inform you of my resignation as mayor of the city of Shamokin effective April 14, 2025. It has been a pleasure to serve the citizens of Shamokin. I wish you all the best, especially the employees and council and Mr. Slavy of the city of Shamokin. Sincerely, Richard H. Ulrich, Mayor. Now, what I'd like to do is just say a few words. I didn't have it incorporated in the letter, but I guess the citizens do have right to know. I am resigning due to health reasons. When I sought the office, Mr. Lashinsky can attest to this. I was hit with COVID very, very bad. Ended up on oxygen for 8 months. And since being mayor, I've had it 3 more times. I've developed COVID lung. I have a defect in my heart now, and I get very short of breath. And I'm not able, and where I realized it was watching these three, how they're out running the streets, doing everything I wanted to do, but I can't. And it's not fair to you. You need people in here, and Mrs. Moyer, you need them because they can be aggressive. They can bring this city and turn it around. And I know people don't believe in it, but I am asking in November, vote for that Home Rule Study Commission or Shamokin will be in trouble again. I can tell you that. I've learned so much. And it has just been such a great honor, all of them. have two things I want to do yet. This gentleman has carried me through these years. People do not know what Bob Slavy does. He is the backbone, the workhorse of this city. And it's with great honor I present my last key of the city to my friend, Robert Slavy. As I depart, and I'm taking my name with me, I asked Mrs. Moyer,
One thing.
no,
I say something?
I asked
Your 3
Mrs.
minutes is up.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're at 3:10.
Go ahead.
I just want to say one thing. As you know, I'm in mayor someplace else, and he has been my student for all the time that I've been here. It just so happens today is my 11th anniversary working for the city of Shamokin. And it's a sad day. It should be a happy day, but it's a sad day because my friend who I have known for a long, long time, and we've had a great time, great time. I think he might have had a greater time than me because he likes nothing more than to, and I won't, there are no kids in here, right? He likes to ball bust. And he likes to just kid the hell out of everyone. But we've had a great relationship, and I hope I have helped you over this period of time. I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you guys, all of you.
Okay.
So, yeah, just look over at Lincoln Tower, and I might be sitting there somewhere. Yes, right. Okay, I got it. All right, I did have somebody who's been a great friend to me. We fight and everything else, but he wanted to say something to me, and that's Joe, and I'm gonna allow it. Okay, the timer's set.
Man, I just hope out of all this, media, public, respect Mayor Ulrich's decision. Please don't allow anybody to talk negatively about his decision to leave. Just that it's a respect thing. Man. Over the years, I've been involved in politics in the city in some way since 2017. A couple times I ran, I wasn't successful. And I knew you prior to that, not as well as I do today, or got to know more of you during that campaign. Man, it was, we shared a lot of good times together throughout politics. That campaign, I remember when it was a few days before the petitions had to be handed in, and I got the call that you were taken to the hospital throughout the night, and we talked and we talked, and I said, Rick, you don't have to do that. I said, let her take the spot. Who cares? It's a free and thankless position. You remember what you told me? You said, I'm going to kick COVID's ass, and then I'm going to kick her ass. And that's exactly what you did. First time I was ever on a billboard, I didn't think it'd be next to you, but that was pretty cool. I got to share one of my biggest achievements in life outside of things to do with family. And that was, being a partner with you in 2021 and that November was probably my biggest achievement to get to where I wanted to be. When a lot of people said me or you couldn't do it, we went out and busted our asses and we did it. I remember not long after you got out of the hospital, it was tough for you to get around. And then one of your first times out was when you came out with us to do the back to school supply giveaway and help me feed the kids. You were a good part of that. And then you also helped us plan that same year, the following year, the Thanksgiving Day, or the Thanksgiving meal we did for those in need. You are honestly, man, one of the greatest caring human beings I've ever met. You're a great dad and a great grandfather. I say about the respect thing because Rick spent a lot of his life serving. U.S. Army veteran, served in Israel, Sinai, and Egypt twice. Served our county for 12 years as county coroner, former chair of the Republican committee. I'll tell you what, I talked to him, about a week and a half ago? This was not easy. He does truly love this city. Rick did a lot in his 4 years as mayor, created the Blight Task Force, helped us stay financially solvent. You did what you said you were going to do during your campaign. You said you were going to double the police force. When we got here, we had what, 4 or 5 guys, Ray? Beginning at 22?
Yep.
They said it couldn't be done because we had no money. You got it done. Thank you for helping keep our community safe. He also said he'd like to see more involvement in the fire companies. And right now, there's a lot of support out there for our local firefighters. And that's to everybody. Honestly, I feel like getting to really know you and being your friend, you turned me into a better human being. I'm grateful for a lot more than I was in the past because of you. When times were tough in my life, you listened to me and you gave me good advice and you always told me to believe. Attitude, patience, and how to be a more understanding person were key traits I learned from you. You're just a good all-around dude and a friend who became like a family member to me and our family. Anytime you need anything, man, don't be afraid to pick up the phone. I think a lot of people in your life that you've come across are better people because they had some sort of interaction with you throughout your life. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Joe.
I love you, man.
Well, Mrs. Moyer, are you ready to accept the gavel?
I'm ready to accept
Please come
on
forward.
your behalf.
Right.
Motion.
Huh?
We will need a motion.
What, we need a call?
Officially accepted. With regrets, your motion.
Yes.
Good luck tonight. Good luck to all of you.
We have to know that, so
Bruce. You get a couple of those guys to help you go down those steps.
I'll go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. All right. I can't take it.
Michael?
Yeah, yeah, I remember reading that.
Right, right. Treat him like you treat me.
No, don't push him down.
You can stare at that.
This was always the mayor's biggest concern of having meetings up here. And then when I fell a year and a half ago, I broke both my legs at the same time. He and I was able to communicate and understand each other. And the difficult that there was of going up and down, these steps so we can have meetings up here. So he and I share another thing, and that is he's got his mental problems and I have mine. And we go through the same thing at the end of every meeting. We have so many people in front of us in the event, you fall backwards, you won't get hurt, but you go down the steps head first, and they'll be calling for an ambulance for you. So it's just gonna be a minute, and then we'll back up again. Boy, it got quiet.
Well, he was really nice to you, wasn't he?
Oh, you don't know how many times I could have led him the wrong way. I was kidding on the staff, I'm like, who are we waiting on, right? Is there anybody, And Bruce. Okay. Well, we can go. I didn't want to go start with some member of council not here. So, okay, Mrs. Moyer, you're just gonna stay over there?
Whatever. I'd
Well-
kind of like to be.
Yes.
I'm sure I'll have questions.
No, no. Yes. This is what happened. Not my.
Talking to
Okay. So, let's see. Now we can to. No, we need to accept a cover letter of resignation. We've not done that. I'm sorry?
No, we never made a motion. No, so we
Yeah, well, that was on the agenda, motion accepted. So
Yeah.
typically you do though, just for the minutes. You could say with regret.
With regret, I motion to accept the resignation.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Dugannon and a second by Ms. Moyer to accept a letter of resignation from Mayor Olber. Mr. Dugannon? Yes. Mr. McLaughlin?
Regretfully, yes.
I've got room in that block, Michael. Mr. Kaler?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
With regret, yes.
Okay. 4 in favor, none opposed. Okay. Mr. Beckman, the motion regarding that subject? Yes, may I address? Thank you.
Obviously, since the motion was regretfully approved, just so council and the public is aware, when there was a vacancy in the office of mayor, council has 30 days in which to appoint a successor. So that's the from today, because today is when we accepted his resignation. This third-class city code also indicates that during the absence of the mayor or the inability of the mayor to act, the vice president of the city council shall be the acting mayor. Third-class city code also indicates that the vice president of council shall be a member of the city department, director of the Department of Accounts and Finance. That's how Mrs. Moyer would have assumed this position under the third-class city code. So she would be the acting mayor per the third-class city code. So council has 30 days to act accordingly. Our next meeting, I think we've looked at it, I think that is May 11th, if I'm not mistaken. May 11th, the second Monday, Mr. Slavy, is that correct? That's correct. So if council wishes to advertise for anyone interested,
Now, what if it is somebody on the board already, on the board? Do they still have to? I mean, we all know, Mr. McLaughlin is running for mayor unopposed. What's to stop him from taking on that position? Like after.
Well, there's nothing that stops
I
him
mean,
from submitting a letter, but according to the code, we have 30 days to ask for interested parties to submit a letter. And there would be nothing stopping him from doing that.
okay, because then you're gonna go 30 days after that for another position on the council.
that's correct. Potentially, yes. I was gonna say, after bringing that up, if a member of this body would be appointed, there's 30 days, and that was a vacancy, you have another 30 days.
So couldn't mayor and council, if they wanted, they would also keep Barbara there.
Well, Barbara would reassume her position and then might.
No, Barbara stayed as mayor.
Then we'd have to reappoint somebody for accounts.
Either way,
Either way.
if that,
you
there
follow.
would have to be another appointment.
That's correct.
But first, according to our solicitor, we have to go by third-class city code and ask for that 30-day window where we can request interested parties, submit a letter, whatever interested party. And please.
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt. The third-class city code does not mandate that we ask for letters of interest, but in the past, council has done that for vacancies. So that's, I just wanted to point a clarification on that. But I think we have in the past solicited letters of interest from prospective individuals.
So do we have to ask for her also at the same time as the mayor? For Barb's position, just in case she does stay there for another month?
No, right now, we have a vacancy in the mayor, right now. So if council wishes to look for letters of interest, we have 30 days to do that.
Right.
Okay, and they could be submitted maybe up till the time of the work session, and then council could make the motion to approve that person at that point.
At the next workshop.
I'm sorry?
At the next workshop.
Well, no, they would,
Right, I think
at
next
the regular
council
meeting,
meeting.
at the regular council meeting.
But they have to be submitted by.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, which gives several weeks to do it, and then advertising it goes out.
Sure, Greg, I have a question. So I have a grant that is due within this time period. If it's something the mayor has liked, can I have Councilwoman Moyer do it?
Yes, because
That's acting mayor.
she's the acting mayor, she
All right,
can
sounds
assume
good.
any of all responsibilities and duties.
All right, thank you very much.
So, is there a motion to advertise? Because it would be spending money to put it in the paper if that's council's.
I have just one through my office advertised,
Okay.
but because of the circumstances here, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm sure the four of you are going to appoint a replacement.
No.
No.
No,
No.
I'll put it in the paper.
Well, if you're spending money, I'd rather just a motion to advertise.
Okay.
because we're spending money.
We want you to ask for that motion.
That's what it's.
Can I have a motion to advertise, or put in the paper an advertisement, for letters of interest from members of the park community to serve as interim mayor until December. I don't have that.
No, that's going to be 130 days. No.
No,
No, we only be
Until the next election,
So,
until the next.
well, his term expires.
Yeah.
Well, all she's saying is the person who would be appointed only serves for the remainder of this term, which is the end of this year.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll motion.
You making a motion?
Yeah.
Is there a second? And then they would be due the 7th of May, is it for the workshop? Is that?
Yes,
Yeah.
7. So then in 4 days.
I'll second it, we need a second.
Okay, you have a motion and a second on the question? I thought that somebody said no.
I didn't know who made the first. motion.
yeah, Barry and then.
Okay, that's what I have. Mr. Buchanan,
Yes.
Mr. McLaughlin,
Yes.
Mr. Kaler.
Yes.
I don't know how to address you.
Councilwoman Moyer.
For now, acting Mayor Moore.
Yeah, acting Mayor Moyer, that's tricky coming off of this.
Okay. We have 4 yeas, no yeas, it all expire, so, okay, so that passes.
Now, before we go forward, I would like to just say a few words. I never knew Rick Ulrich before he ran for mayor and successfully ran for mayor. I just didn't, as people in our community, sometimes they're there and we just don't ever get to meet them. It's been a pleasure. He and I also have had a lot of laughs together. I've enjoyed his company, I've enjoyed his leadership, and for a very brief period of time, I know I won't be able to fill those shoes in the same way. But I'm hoping that the city can go forward, using the established process in the third-class city code and making sure that, you know, we follow all of that. And, it seems like we're so willing to do that. So that's all I have to say right now. Thank you.
Okay, we can move on to.
Yeah, we're back up to bids. And do I ask for?
Because this involves sale of real estate, I'm going to ask for a brief executive session before moving on these issues, these bids here. So, okay, so I'll just note the time, and if we could go back here, just a brief executive session.
I was at his house.
Did you put the time back? When we came back? Okay, so, this is my.
Now that we're back in session, at this time, with respect to the three bids, I'm making a motion to the mayor, acting mayor and council, that we table, items 1, 2, 3 till next meeting, to get additional information and clarify the information that we have at this point.
And you need a second on
Oh, I can't make a motion.
No,
Right.
There- yeah.
Will someone make that
I'll make a
motion?
motion.
And do we have a second?
Who seconded it?
Back there? No. Councilman King.
Mr. Lance,
Yes.
motion, was seconded by Mr. Taylor. Okay, any need for discussion? Mr. DeGanis?
Yes.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Haven't figured it out yet.
Oh, no, you.
Okay, motion carries 4 days on that subject, so now we can move down to,
Correspondence. No, to citizens' comments.
yes,
All right, so the next thing we're moving to is any citizens' comments contingent upon business listed on the agenda.
I'm Joe Kaczynski, I live at 518 East Pine Street. Just a question for Attorney Greco, and this has to do off of the correspondence section that we had at the beginning of the meeting. For vacancies, it's not, like you said, it's not required for them to advertise or anything. Realistically, from now till whenever, if somebody wanted to make a motion to appoint somebody, it could realistically happen. There's no restriction against it if you wanted to.
that's correct.
All right. Just one more thing I just want to say. Never mind. I just think that a process like that shouldn't drag out for the full 30 days. Just my suggestion. I'm not up there, nothing to do with it, but I think the choice is obvious. And I hope when the decision comes, I hope the majority of council support that decision. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Any other citizens' comments? I need a motion to accept the minutes of the Shamokin City Council meeting of March 10th, 2025.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Any comment on the question?
Mr. DeGanis?
Yes.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous.
I need a motion to approve the bills from March 2025, as listed on the bill list.
I'll vote.
Councilman Field. Do we have a second on that?
I'll say.
Okay.
On the question.
Okay, yes, anything on the question?
I have one too.
Sorry.
So there's a check there to CEDA, it just says CEDACOG office, city hall, police department, code office, street and tax office expenses. Just one long line for $4,200. Do we know what that, and it says vendor M&T Bank.
What date is
Okay,
it?
so that is the
3/7.
city's credit card, so it's miscellaneous expenses.
Okay,
Okay, Mr. Brockman.
yeah, it just was odd to see M&T Bank, I wasn't sure what that was.
661, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else have?
Anyone else
Yes.
have a question?
I have one, 7664, March 7th, 2025. City employee cell phone plan. Why is that so high?
Despite, irregardless of how high it is, the city pays, under the agreement, pays for it, and then she takes it back through payroll deduction.
Yes.
Okay, so that, oh, okay,
So it's a wash.
gotcha.
Yes. Anybody else? Mr. Duganis?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
I'm sorry.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Yes.
Mr. Kaler?
I don't think.
Okay. And Ms. Moyer?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 yeas, 1 abstention. The subject passes by unanimous vote.
Not unanimous, but.
No. Yeah.
Well.
All right, the next thing we have are director's reports, and the first one is accounts and finance. This is the treasurer's report for March 2025, beginning with the total general fund balance of $1,066,507.68. Total motor license balance, $322,477.73. Total library balance, $192,846.49. Total sinking fund number 1 balance, $179,067.48. Total sinking fund number 2 recreation balance, $299,802.86. Total street lighting balance, $18,050.38. Total American Legion balance, $2,015.37. Total neighborhood mitigation fund, $40,940.96. Total code department credit cards, $4,327. Total police department credit cards, $422.26. For a total balance in all accounts to April 1st, 2025 of $2,126,458.21, submitted by our treasurer, Brenda Scanlon.
Thank you.
And, next we go to Parks and Public Works.
Well, spring is here, guys. Starting this Saturday, we're gonna be busy, this month. Mrs. Brown's annual Easter egg hunt that starts at 1:00 PM over at Volunteer Park. Thank you for, you guys and girls that came out to help fill up 16,000 eggs. What did it take us, an hour and 45 minutes, I think?
That was a little bit longer than.
3 hours? Okay.
3 hours.
3 hours, yeah. It seemed like time flew by when we were having fun doing it, so, yeah. Anyway, that's going on this Saturday, at 1 o'clock. If you get there by 1:01, you're probably not going to get it in. It lasts within seconds. They pick them all up. Smoke Warms My Heart is also going to be at Claude Keeler Park the same day, and that starts at 11 a.m. So there's going to be entertainment going on down there from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both sides. Boy, if we only had a bridge.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a beautiful day, and it's going to be like 70-something degrees on Saturday. So I hope to see everybody come on out. April 25th is the United Way Day of Action, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. We're meeting with a bunch of students from the school, as well as college kids are coming out, and adult volunteers. We're going to meet at Claude Keeler Park, and we're going to go around to, I think it's like 7 different areas. We're looking at all 3 playgrounds. We're going to put mulch in. We're going to hit Market Street with conjunction with Kevin and our street department. They're all going to come out and help them out, and we're going to beautify the area. So we're working on that. And also, thanks to Mr. Slady working with me for this, CSO is back again. We are going to be doing the Shamokin City Food Pantry Distribution. And that's also going to be on Friday, April 25th. This happened a while back when Mayor Brown and Councilman McGall were here. It was down at the Claude Keeler Park, and it's for low income. It's a helping hand for people to get some food pantry, local food. And that's starting at 12 to 2, and that's in coordination with the CSO, as well as Victory House. It's helping us with volunteers to help bring it out. The only thing they ask is just come on down and register, and then we're going to make this possibly 1 Friday a month, but possibly 2 Fridays within a month, every other Friday. But that kicks off on April 25th, 12 to 2 at the bingo stand at Claude Keeler Park. So they'll be there.
Mr. DeGanis, if I can just add.
Yes.
For you folks out here in the audience land, please encourage anybody who you can think of that can use this help. It doesn't cost anything, and I can tell you from experience, not that I have participated, but as a supervisor watching over this last year, this is good stuff. This is good food. It doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican, whether you live in the city, it doesn't matter. Tell your friends, if somebody needs a meal, please come. They're not turning anyone away unless you don't meet what I just said. It's federal, it's provided by the federal government, therefore there's, it's good. So please invite your friends to come.
Justin, if I give you a banner, could you put that on the Go Shamokin website? We have the flyers downstairs. Just share it.
digital copy. I'll put it on.
Okay, so we'll get that on there. I know that I spoke to the news item, there'll be an article in the paper about that also, so to bring that up. Rosalind King Day is the next day after that, and we'll be meeting at Claude Keeler Park again at the bandstand, and that'll be at 1 o'clock on the 26th of April. That's our annual Rosalind King Day. We're gonna go around town cleaning up, so it's gonna be a busy weekend. So, I hope everybody has fun. Metal Mania is May 3rd, and it's the 6th annual. That's May 3rd, and it'll be at the municipal parking lot, right across the street from the post office in Coney Island. And it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And all the proceeds that will come out of this will benefit our Shamokin Fire Police. So we're looking for a lot of help. If you have any old metal, washers, dryers, anything that you'd like to get rid of, this is a good benefit, a good way to get rid of them. And we're going to see if maybe we can get a couple people, we'll pick up trucks if somebody has some stuff. We can't go on your property, but maybe we can help you get rid of it. So, and we'll get it down there because we're hoping to make this we're hoping to give them a couple bucks. All the proceeds from this will go to fire police. And, the pool is they're starting the process of opening. Hopefully we can get the pool ready by Memorial Day. I'll get more information about that. Bob has been working with, everyone over there, and Kevin has gotten a lot of stuff done with the pool. So, and I still have to get a hold of Matt McMullen to make sure about the solar panels. So everything's coming in the swing. So, and that's all I have to report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Streets and public improvements. I'm sorry.
So on the street department, needless to say, the sweeper is up and running. We're running our regular schedule. This week would have been the warning week. So needless to say, this is the end of no tickets. So needless to say, if you're in the public and you're on the route, you need to start parking your cars now because the police are out ticketing or giving warnings currently. But you will get a ticket next week. Street department also, they have all the fire extinguishers in all public buildings have been recertified this past week. The swimming pool fixtures, everything is in and ready to go. They're waiting for the water company to put the water back on so they can test everything. Claude Kaler Park restrooms are ready to go. They didn't turn on the water yet, only because of the temperatures. They want to make sure that they're ready to go for next weekend for Mrs. Brown's event and also for Smoke and Warms My Heart. Claude, the swimming pool locker rooms the floors were both repainted. So that's all done, ready to go for the year. Patching potholes as they go around with the sweeper. All the equipment for grass cutting is ready to go. It's serviced and the street department's ready. Now we'll just have to start cutting grass once we're done cleaning up ashes. And I think that's it on the street departments.
Thank you. Public safety.
Yes, okay, for code enforcement revenue for the month of March. Rental revenue is $5,275. Rental registrations are 5,200. Vacant properties, 75. Parking permits, 2,800. Other permit, 3,347. Dumpster permit, 575. Outdoors permit is 50. Zoning permit is 30. Third party inspector, $2,237.50. Mechanical devices, $455. Code violations, $125. For a total revenue collected is $11,547.50. Code enforcement activity, complaints addressed is 131. Notice of violation sent, 32. Citation written, 56. Landlord inspections complete is 10. Fire calls, 2. Warnings, 27. And for the fire incidents is 9. Rescue and emergency medical services, 6. Hazardous condition with no fire, 6. Service call, 6. Good intent is 10, and false alarm is 6, for a total of 43. And the only thing I have is that now that summer's kicking up, code is going to be coming out and getting the grass complaints, the garbage. We really didn't have a hand that we're going to start nailing them left and right. We got to do something. I mean, it's getting really bad. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next we have controller's report.
If I may, I don't have anything for this meeting, but I'd like a few minutes, maybe a minute or two to update council on home rule. Just so everyone's updated as far as we are, or they be out of order, I'm not sure. Is that okay?
Okay, by me.
Okay, just briefly, I wanted to, comment that this month is 1 year since the home rule committee election, and, it's been quite the year. I can say I am extremely, appreciative of all the members of the committee. Vanessa, the mayor was on it, Brenda, and I also want to thank there's always been a member of council at one of our meetings, no matter whether it be, Mike or Barbara. So I just want to thank the members of council for being that interested and having their input, because my goal is to get the charter finished, hopefully have it put in place so that the new council, the new administration coming into Shamokin in 2026 January has a basis to move forward with safely for the next 5 years, so Shamokin can continue on an upward. So I just want to thank public, members of council, and everyone who's been helpful, Attorney Greco. It's been a ride, and we've got a couple more months to go, but I'm going in with a positive attitude based on the responses I see I'm getting. Justin, thank you for being on there. So I'm not going to say much more about home rule until I get to a home rule meeting, but thank you, everyone.
And next, our treasurer.
As of tomorrow, I'm going to be sending the city's QuickBooks to the auditor to start the city audit. I just received an email today, Bob, where you would be aware of that.
Thank you.
August 22nd, I will be starting the liquid fuels audit. I have not got the list of what he wants yet, but that will come soon. I'd also like to send the first quarter of 2025 because we had made arrangements with Clay6. That was one of the audit suggestions. Every quarter that they review, this way, if they feel something needs corrected, or if one of us booked something incorrectly, they'll catch it then instead of at year end, which makes sense. It makes me feel better. Yes. The pool is going to start using software, a program that actually tracks inventory. It's gonna track the time. Whoever works there, it goes by GPS. So if you're not working, you can't get paid because you're gonna log in with your phone. And if you don't have a phone, you log in at the computer at the pool. Same as a lot of the caretaking places, like Vanessa, at your place, they do that. You must be at the place to sign in, to, yes, call it sign in, punch in, right? And I guess I need approval from mayor and council to open up a credit card for the pool. Do we need that? Because it will be a new line of credit.
That will be new for the swimming pool,
Correct.
and it will hold the swimming pool better accounted for, with their purchases.
Only the pool purchases will go on this credit card.
Yes.
Right now, the way it's done, the city has one credit card, okay? And if I need something right away, okay, I'll use it, or Bob will go get it for me at Walmart, whoever, one of the girls. And then Michelle has the task of trying to break that, whoever asked the question about that, you asked about the M&T, okay? She has to sit and figure out, okay, this was for City Hall, $59. The police department spent $13.59. So much was for my office. I needed paper, whatever. It's very tedious for her to have to break that up.
Can I
And
ask a
then when
question?
you add the pool to it, it's even worse.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there a reason, like, even in my own business, I have one account that can have, I forget the number of cards, but I think I can actually have 12 cards and they break it out by the card. So you would have one card for the swimming pool, one card for the police department, one card for the code office. And it gets broken out on a monthly statement. It's already done that way. All Michelle would have to do is say, here's the total for police, here's the total for swimming pool, and that's all done by the credit card company.
Well, we are able to have 4, if I'm correct. Am I correct? 4
authorized.
cards?
For them and
That's right.
Each card has a different last numbers on it, right? Because I have a bunch in my wallet.
No, that was the Walmart.
Okay, I'm getting confused with the Walmart card.
No, not Walmart, bank cards.
Does that answer your
Well,
question?
we
Yeah,
have,
well, it just, yeah, I mean, it just, I would think that that would just make things so much easier. You know, in that way, I'm not saying that everybody should have their, that they should have them, but whatever process
no,
you use.
Bob would keep them
Yeah.
in his office.
But when you need it, you're coming for the police credit card, not the credit card everybody uses. First of all, I can see that being an issue, because what if Ray comes over and needs the credit card and Mike has it for the swimming pool?
It
That's
is,
happened.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it-
Or what's to stop somebody from the pool, I'm not saying this would ever happen, but they went and purchased bullets. You wouldn't think it's somebody from the pool, you'd think it's Ray, or let's say the chief went,
I would
bought
hope.
something for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just, I know you might say, I want to know, appreciating what. What I mean is that you don't know exactly who's purchasing with one card.
I'm not sure if it's this Thursday, I just need to speak with.
I think it's after.
The 23rd.
Okay, I won't be here.
So then we need to inquire at the bank where we do
Prior
business
to that.
to see, because I agree with that, what he's saying, 100%. 100, that will cut down on problems I have of the past.
Yes,
Different numbers.
hours of going.
One is for,
Yeah, but frankly, planning on, I'll see that on the next meeting, to get a motion from council to open like a.
Yeah, but I'm glad to that up now because.
All right,
saying
thank
no,
you. Brenda,
Your job.
have you finished your report or what you need to tell us?
Yes, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chief Cycler?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For the month of March 2025, juvenile arrests were 8, criminal arrests were 46, non-traffic citations were 11, traffic citations were 197, traffic warnings were 2, parking tickets were 389, tow tickets were 16. Total calls for the month of March was 1,348 dispatch calls, and miles patrolled at 4,033.3 miles. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And next we have Seacom.
Hello, Madam Mayor. Hello, Council. I have quite a bit to cover tonight. First of all, I have provided everybody the update. There's also some over on the table if anybody from the audience would like one. On May 1st, Thursday, May 1st, at the Shamokin Cole Township Library from 3 to 4 and then 6 to 7. All are welcome. This is to learn more about why the city of Shamokin embarked on a hydraulic and hydrologic study. So what we're gonna do is share exactly what happened back when FEMA remapped the whole area. We also wanna share what the findings were. So what FEMA has told us is that we should have a new, it's called a FIRM, or a flood insurance rate map. The city of Shamokin should have one by the end of this year. but they keep kicking that, which is not necessarily bad. I mean, this is probably the 4th or 5th time I've heard a new date. But as long as they keep kicking that can down the road, your insurance map stays the same. So at one time it was going to be quadrupled. We do not believe it's going to be anywhere near that anymore, thank goodness, because we had a very good H&H study done. So residents will be receiving a postcard in the mail. This is a City of Shamokin initiative, not a CEDACOG. However, Ally Mayor Cassidy from CEDACOG, she'll be facilitating the meeting. GPI, who did the work, they're providing us all of their maps, all their information. And we also have an intern from Bucknell, he's helping as well. But I want to let everybody know to please come out, get the information, and then also we'll be working with Val here at the city to have a page designated on the site of your Shamokin website. So right now, what we'll do is we'll just be letting you know that the flood map will soon be available by the end of the year. But we'll be able to provide the slides, the information that's at the meeting, and then as soon as we have the new flood map from FEMA, so that'll be called your preliminary firm, your flood insurance rate map. As soon as we have that, we will get that posted as well to get everybody informed. But if you can, please come out on, once again, it's Thursday, May 1st. We have it at 3 to 4 in case people can't go at night, and then we have it at 6 to 7 in case people say I can't go during the day. So it's the same session both times. Also, the American Legion building. I know people say, what's going on with that? Why is the fence still there? Didn't we get money? You did. Thank you to Senator Fetterman. He did provide us $500,000 of appropriations. What's happening right now is something called your environmental review, because that is in your designated historic eligible area. The State Historical Preservation Office has to review what we're planning on doing to make sure that we are not messing up with the side of the building, which we're not, we just will fix the crack. Also with that fund, we will be doing the smoke detectors wired throughout the building. We cannot do anything until we get the approval back, just so you know. But I am working on, it's called an RFP, or request for proposals, to put out so we can hopefully, what I'm waiting for right now is confirmation from the state that I can, it's actually through HUD, so I have to check with HUD, that I can put out the RFP prior to getting the environmental review back. I just don't want to do anything to jeopardize that money. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Yeah, how long do you have until you get this?
That slowed
That's not
down
on
the
the
park,
deadline.
no, oh heavens no, that slowed down the park like 5-6 months. So there's nothing, I mean, we put it in a good month ago, maybe 2 months ago, we're just waiting. So, and there's not much you can do, we had every legislator out there pushing for this. It's just, they do it when they do it, but I was expecting it pretty soon. And if I can get the RFP out in the meantime, that way we have the contractor all lined up, ready to go as soon as we get the go-ahead. So don't expect they're gonna say no.
What I mean is how long from the RFP
Mhm.
to getting work?
Getting it
like
fixed.
that?
As soon as we have the RFP out and we have consultants or contractors send us in their proposals, as soon as we get the environmental review back, we can say, go. So, yeah, so that's all we need to do is have that environmental review back. The other thing that we worked on is the bridge this past month. So you actually approved us applying for 2 different grants last month, back in March. The first one was a DCNR C2P2 grant, and we had actually previously, back in 2023, applied for the grant to fund the plan, which is now completed. And so we are trying to get funding for the first phase of the master plan of Volunteer Park, which is the footbridge. That came out to $578,995. So DCNR will potentially fund half of that. Then there's also DCED has what's called Act 13 Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program, or GTRP. So that will fund up to $250,000. So what we're doing then is there's a little bit of a gap, and then so I'm going to see if I can use my time for time. So I'm trying very hard to get this bridge at no cost to the city. So that's my plan. We can also use any volunteer time, that could be in kind, any of the street department, that can be in kind. We only have a gap of about $50,000, so. And like all the work that I'm doing in applying, I'm not actually funded for it, so we could potentially cover. Okay, so that's moving forward. And you will see on what you're voting on tonight, there's 2 things that's pertaining to, actually 3 things. First of all, you're gonna see a motion to authorize towards at number 12, authorize City Cox Betsy Kramer to apply for a DCD Multimodal Transportation Fund, or MTF, grant for the Independent Streetscape Project in the amount of $1.5 million. That's to get our next phase underway. Also, you'll see number 14, that's the motion to approve resolution 2502, providing signature authorization for the Claude Taylor Park Bridge Implementation Project grant from DCNR. Just to explain, even though last month you approved me actually applying, we had to have a resolution. So that had to get included with the application. So you're ratifying that here. And then number 15 is a motion to approve resolution 2503, providing signature authorization. This is once again the resolution for doing the multimodal transportation fund. So that's what I'm asking for your action tonight. Also back to your sheets, the updates. Your comprehensive plan right now is in the hands of your planning commission. So you did have a new 3 people on your planning commission, which is fabulous. So I'll be checking in with them to see if they have any questions. So this is not a CEDACOG project. This is a City of Shamokin project. But Michelle Brummer from Gannett Fleming is the one who is your consultant. And I can coordinate with her to come here for a meeting if your planning commission would like that. So that's up to them. Also, what will happen then is once they have already provided her any of their suggested edits, updates, then they do 3 things. They approve it to come back to council to then, what would the word be? To not approve it, to not ratify. You are adopting. You're adopting.
But we have to have a public meeting.
Of course. Oh, and they do
Before we
too.
vote.
They have to have a public meeting, the council has a public meeting, so they're the next step. So city council once already approved it. They didn't technically approve it to be, I did it again, I forgot the word again, adopted. They were making the, official request to the planning commission to review it. So that's what the planning commission's job is, to go through this with a fine tooth comb.
Not the zoning also?
No, the zoning will be doing the zoning book. That's happening next. Actually, that's happening at the same exact time. So the comprehensive plan is the building blocks for your new zoning book. So there was 2 separate groups going through the steering committee process. So we're towards the end of this process, but that's exciting. Also, in case you're not sure what's going on with the Independent Street Makeover project, the first phase is underway planning and it has to be out by fall of 2025. So that means the bidding. So we will actually be looking for contractors to take on that project by the end of this year. The local share count, that's been done, and have you received your funds back in yet, Brenda or Val, from local share, the 150,000 from the fire truck?
I'm not aware.
Okay. So we'll just keep an eye out for that, but that's really exciting that took place. Kudos to Barry. Let's see, second page, I do want to let you know also the Safe Streets for All project is nearing the end. So, I think we're on our last, draft was sent to council to review. If you have any questions on that, please reach out to me, happy to. If you don't have a copy of it and you're like, oh, I remember seeing that, I'll be happy to re-forward it to you. So, does anybody not remember seeing it?
I've seen so many drafts.
I know, I'll resend it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've seen the last one or not.
Yeah, no problem. Does anybody have any questions?
So I do have a question on the downtown makeover.
Yeah.
Where do we get to sit down with the engineer again to finalize this before they go to bid?
I can ask them tomorrow, I can give them a call.
Because we haven't heard anything.
The last thing I heard, and that was when they were working with with Lax to make sure that it was, the bump outs. I unfortunately was gone last week. I know that they had another meeting last week. Bob, were you on that? And Justin and I were both in Philadelphia, so I can't update you what happened in that meeting, but I'll certainly reach out tomorrow and I'll CC you on that too.
I'd also like to know, did they ever reach out to Chief Psycho about the surveillance cameras downtown?
I know that that's part of it, so I don't know if they have yet, but actually Justin told him to also contact Eric Anderson. He has the mountain where they're all
Yeah,
at.
I sent the information over for Eric Anderson. I'm not sure if they.
Yeah, so that's what we made the recommendation to, but yeah, I'll reach out tomorrow, no problem, absolutely. Any other questions?
Always.
Thank you. All right, oh, and the Step Into Swim, that's another one that I'm going to be working on. So we have it all ready to go. I just have one question to ask her. But I'll be having to talk to Val and Mr. Slavy. We're going to need W-9, like a couple things from the city in order to send it in.
This is all going from last year, we did this grant last year, it worked out well.
It's for free swimming lessons for people in the city. So it's not just children, it can be adults as well. So keep you posted on that. All right, Justin, you're up, and then Matt.
Well, first and foremost.
Yeah, sure, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Excuse me.
First and foremost, number 13 under new business, if it's approved tonight, I'll be applying for a T-Mobile grant through Main Street America for up to $50,000 for phase 2 of Volunteer Park. That will be an ADA accessible small playground over there for a safe place for those families since the city doesn't have one. And then I'm also working with Matt Spade to do a film festival in town down at Illumination Station that'll include student films from Lourdes and Shamokin High School. They will be later in the fall, meeting with him Wednesday to come up with more details and stuff. And on May 8th, from 1 to 3 at the Shamokin Full Township Library, the SEDACOG MPO will be doing a presentation on potential electric vehicle charging within the downtown district, which they could receive up to $2 million from PennDOT to do that, and businesses and local residents are encouraged to attend. And there's a survey, and registration is requested but not mandatory. Tomorrow that will be on the Go Shamokin website and shared to the website as well for anybody that would wish to take one. And then on May 15th from 6 to 8 at the Springfield Banquet Hall, there will be Savers Meet and Greet. All local businesses anywhere the Shamokin School District touches are invited to attend. I have been going around with flyers, handing them out to people, try to get anybody to come. I stopped at the police station to invite the chief today. The fire bureau is also invited. Anybody within civic organizations or anything are invited to come meet your neighbors and see how you can work together to better Shamokin.
I believe Senator Culver goes to this?
She
Yes.
was there last year.
I think so.
The state rep usually comes. This year she will be in Canada for, I forget, domestic relations kind of thing between different governments, so she won't be able to attend. But she said she's gonna try to send one of her staffers up to present. And I think that's all I have right now.
And Justin and I were in Philadelphia last week for the Main Street Now conference with over 2,000 people from across the country doing downtown revitalization. So that was awesome experience. Yeah.
Excuse me, Justin, what time is this at Sabre?
That is 6 to 8.
60, thank you.
And if you would like a table to set up to show off what you have or anything, you could reach out. I could share an email with you for pre-registration so they have a spot available for you.
There's no cost.
And no cost, it's 100% free, and it'll be light eating as well provided.
Especially the desserts.
And it would be helpful, Justin, whatever you have coming on a monthly basis, if you could put that in a report and
Oh, yeah.
pass it out to all.
Of course, yeah, I just,
It's difficult to remember all the,
with the conference and
Bits of
everything, I didn't have
information.
time to sit down
Okay.
and go through it. But the next
That
meeting,
would
I'll
be
have something
helpful.
for you.
Thank you. And American,
Yeah, so I have a few things, two of which were mentioned, I'll just touch on. So I've been facilitating the meeting between LATS and Stromberg Yoder and Associates in terms of, bump outs and downtown street makeover. We did meet 2 weeks ago. Betsy was on it for a second at least. But we were able to get Bill Milbrand, who kind of was coach, on it as well. And where that stands, I mean, SGA is obviously well aware of what the plan, with, in terms of the buses, we got them the bus designs, width and length to account for the bump outs. So I guess they're still in the planning phase with that. I'm gonna get in touch with them soon to see how that is going and bring it back full circle. As Councilman Dugan has brought up with solar panels, we're looking to get solar panels on the roof of the bathhouse. I got in touch with Lydia Sigmund. She is a legislative aide through the Department of Environmental Protection. And she told me that there are currently no active grants that would help not-for-profit agencies like local governments fulfill a project like this, but there are several state and federal programs and policies that provide financial incentives to offset the cost. So this is kind of similar to what we're trying to get with the more grant and the more loan. However much money we're putting into this, the city will get in the long run. It just takes time to offset. And then the other thing is with the more grants loan now, Kevin Richardson and I will be meeting Invinity for them to do their site visit this Thursday at 1:00 to start the design stuff with the boiler in the American Legion building. So that's progressing. And that's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What about CDBG? No?
I don't have any updates
Okay.
from her at this time.
So in new business, we have these motions, and I'm asking our solicitor, can we do them all at one time?
Yes. There's a motion to approve new business items 1 through 15.
All right. So,
Mr. Greco, I have received, and this was presented to me by the investigator that we've been requested. It didn't make yes, ma'am. It didn't make the cutoff, and it just so happens, we got this, and I thought, instead of waiting until next month, they have, I think over the last 3, maybe 4 years, or maybe even longer, somebody will recall, requested and granted permission. And as you have heard me say in workshop sessions, if a person who is submitting this year, and like in past years, if they've been a problem, it's brought to your attention. This organization has never been a problem, and therefore, we can either let it sit or include it on the list that has been presented to you for approval. My recommendation as city administrator is it's a good organization, and it brings a good time to downtown. This would be taking place in the neighborhood of Oliver's, which is located on Independence Street, exactly 144 East Independence Street. It would be from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. So I'm asking council to take it and include it in this.
what is the
The
date?
date is May the 3rd. It's actually referred to as the Kentucky Derby.
And so we can't wait until next month.
No.
That's fine. So,
Getting these big
Well,
hats
there's
and
no-
show up there.
yeah, you can get one of them with the flowers. I'll see if I can pick one up for you.
So you can do this. Item number
Item
16, Oliver's request on May the 3rd for a Kentucky Derby celebration.
What, Mike?
We will be setting up a tent in front, as well as item number 16. If you're doing this, it looks like they're looking for open container.
Open container suspension.
Yes.
Is Ray, are you?
Sorry.
We're discussing adding item number 16
For Oliver's,
for rollovers and open container suspension.
I know in the past 2 or 3 years we've done it the same way. We haven't had any issues there either, but I can recall.
I just want to keep it.
And again,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I would not be asking you to deviate from our normal policy, so. I guess if there's no objection, you can include it in the list there you have before you. So go ahead, Mr. Moore.
Okay, so I'm requesting a motion to approve items 1 through 16. For events to be held in and about downtown Scranton.
I'll second.
Anything on the question? Councilman Glennis?
Yes.
Councilman Conklin?
Yes.
Councilman Kindler?
Yes.
Councilman Moyer?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimous.
Okay. Do we have any unfinished business? Do we have anything on boards and commissions?
No, that's it.
Just on a question on the boards and committees, would it be possible for us to request that they send us a copy of their minutes from each meeting?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I can ask, yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to read over what all the boards are doing. You know, I try to get to some of the meetings, but at the same time, it's hard to get to all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be nice if they just were in our packet once a month or in our mailbox when we get them.
If there's been any activity in that particular.
Yes, yes.
Well, they're probably gonna be about a month behind because they have to approve those, but you'll have a general idea of what's happening.
Just if I may interject, that was a policy that went by the wayside. Simply because we didn't have enough people to, like you said, there's so many meetings to get to go to, but we did put I did put a request when I was on council for all the authorities, please at least give us a monthly report of some kind, because you're working in the blind, if you don't know, you point to people, and then they take off in the meetings, and the council's not aware of what's going on, and council ultimately makes the appointment, so.
Yes, and actually, Bob, you were gonna get us a list of all the members on the committees.
I have, I just not had that complete. I need to talk to you, about something that's come up that I know you and I have talked about since you've been on council, so
Okay.
we'll get that.
Thank you. And Attorney Greco or Solicitor?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. The first item is a resolution of the city of Shamokin to amend the International Property Maintenance Code violation section. We did discuss this last month, had to do some research to see exactly the mode that we needed to do it. But the International Property Maintenance Code authorizes the municipality to change their penalty provision via resolution. That way, each municipality doesn't have to advertise and adopt an ordinance each time they want to do it. So a resolution is the mode that we're going to move. But this is a resolution, City of Shamokin. I'm not sure what resolution number, Val, we're on. Do you know?
It's 2504.
Okay. Whereas the City of Shamokin wishes to update the fees, fines, and costs adopted for property maintenance, whereas the City of Shamokin intends to amend section 106.4 violation penalties of the International Property Maintenance Code, which reads, any person who shall violate a provision of this code or fails to comply therewith or with any of the requirements thereof shall be prosecuted within limits provided by state or local laws. Each day that a violation continues after due notice has been served shall be deemed a separate offense. Now therefore be resolved that the City Council of the City of Shamokin hereby amends section 106.4 violation penalties to read, any person who shall violate a provision of this code or fails to comply therewith or with any of the requirements thereof shall be prosecuted within the limits provided by state or local laws. Penalties shall range from $100 per day up to $1,000 per day, depending on the type of violation. Each day that a violation continues after due notice has been served shall be deemed a separate offense. Adopted this blank day of blank, 2025. So the old penalties range from 100 to 300. So we're going from 100 to $1,000 per day. And again, those penalties are ultimately levied by the district judge for violations. But you see how serious we're taking those violations.
Yes.
So we would need a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second
Is there anything else?
I have a question. So, voting on Councilman Duganez,
Yes.
Councilman McLaughlin,
Yes.
Councilman Kayla,
Yes.
Councilwoman Maria,
Yes.
the motion carries unanimous.
Second on the list would be a motion to ratify filing of objections to the 2025 Northumberland County Judicial Upset Sale. Those are due next week. I've been working on it, but it's just ratifying the work I'm doing. It's my understanding that organizations or the EDA and or the RDA may be interested in purchasing or getting involved in those properties. So it's necessary to pull those off the upset sales so they're not sold and we lose the ability to control those.
And I just met with the RDA, and I want to thank the RDA for actually helping with this. And as well as the EDA, because there are a couple properties that are on the gateway. And I believe both authorities were very enthused of helping us. What this is doing is it's taking it, getting the houses that were going up for auction from Northumberland County tax claims and putting it back into the city. Instead of somebody coming in that doesn't even know what they're bidding on and then coming in here and looking at, seeing what they bid for and then leaving. So now we have a better opportunity, and I went to the meeting and begged RDA, I shouldn't say beg, but I asked them, and they wholeheartedly, they said, yes, we're going to do this, as well as the EDA. So this is the first step of us controlling who's getting these properties in the city of Shamokin. So thank you, and thank you, Mr. Greco, for helping, and Mr. Slavy for helping get this done.
Out of that list, I believe one property was pulled because
They paid their
they paid
taxes.
their taxes, which is still a win for the city. So
Yes.
we would need a motion.
Yes, we need a motion to ratify the filing of objections to the 2025 Northumberland County Judicial Upset Sale.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Any further question, discussion?
I do have a question. So if, be it the RDA or the EDA, would decide they didn't want one of those properties, does that still fall back on the city?
No, what I believe would happen is that would be placed back on the upset sale. I mean, it's a delay, but it's still back on the upset sale.
Yeah, no, okay, that answered my question. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, Councilman Duganez?
Yes.
Councilman McLaughlin?
Yes.
Councilman Kaler?
Yes.
Councilwoman Moyer?
Yes.
The motion carries unanimous. I have nothing further, Madam Mayor, concludes the solicitor, Mrs. Moyer, so we can move on now to the citizens' comments.
All right, next we do have citizens' comments based on items on the agenda.
No, just regular.
Regular,
Yes.
just regular, okay.
Yep. On any.
Pardon me.
Before you get to the podium, you are required to sign in there's a sign-in sheet over there, so,
I did.
okay, thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Mark Pajitsky. I live at 11 South 8th Street, Shamokin. And my question is on the bids, why the motion wasn't accepted on the 3 bids, why it's tabled for another month away, when it was supposed to be, according to this, voted on today.
May I? Okay. Certainly, while it was placed on the agenda, council we opened those bids publicly, but we need to verify, 1 or 2 aspects. We did look at the bids, they did appear to be in order. We also had those properties appraised, so we have to go back and review those appraisals just to make sure we're in line and doing everything properly.
Okay. Any idea when?
Well, this should be available if we're moving, it'll be placed on next month's agenda.
Okay.
It's not gonna be, prolonged indefinitely, but
All right.
it should be on for next one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Jesse Storm from Brokers Realty Property Management. First of all, I want to say thank you to our code enforcement officers. They're out there in the street every day trying to, work to make the city better. So I want to say thank you to them, first of all. I've begged in the past, many different councils, to do one simple thing, and that is clarify what property manager means on your code. Under Pennsylvania state law, a single-family residential home, you must be a licensed real estate agent to be a property manager. Under Pennsylvania state law, if you have 3 or more units as a property manager, that individual can be hired as a W-2 employee of the owner, not an independent contractor. A real estate broker, real estate company. So I would beg of you to identify that, because what I'm seeing as a real estate agent out on the street, we've got a property for sale right now around the corner from here, where it is being managed and accepted as property managed, being duly registered, where the foundation is set apart so far that you can stick your hand in between the blocks of the foundation. It was not identified by the seller. Seller's response when it was brought up to the seller about the foundation collapsing in on the building was, our property managers never told us something. Well, there's no insurance to hold a non-real estate brokerage responsible for failure to notify an owner of bad conditions of the property, whereas an E&O policy on the real estate brokerage would have teeth to go back on them for something. But when it's somebody who lives a couple of blocks away and is the property manager, they're not insured, they're not licensed, they're not paying taxes, they're doing nothing but collecting money from owners and telling them it's daisies and sunshine, and they're collecting payment from these people, which should be paid under a real estate commission, and taxes should be charged and paid on top of that to the community. I know Joe, I took Joe, our code officer, out to one of the 2 properties that I've identified very recently. I filed with the state for violation of property management rules and law, and under registration for property management as a real estate brokerage. But I took Joe back out to one, and he scratched his head and said, I don't know how I missed this, but this is a catastrophic failure to the foundation. The building is a 3-story building, 3 units in the building, and the center section of the building is collapsing inwards and blowing out. It would have been for the property manager, the licensed property manager, to go back to the owner with photos and say, this is what's going on with your building. We need to request an engineer to come out here and look at this and work on getting this repaired, and bring it to code's attention directly at that point, so that way permits could be pulled and things could be started from that point to fix it. But if we don't identify what a property manager is under our code,
we're never gonna fix the problem. Because Johnny, the guy down the street that needs enough to buy his meth at the end of the week is the property manager. We gotta end it. We ask for your help to update the code, identify what a property manager is, and hold them accountable for notifying code when there's an issue, notifying the fire departments when there's an issue, notifying water and sewer when there are issues. It's the only way we're gonna fix things in this town. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, it's me again. A question I have, as it regards to Airbnbs. A lot of them are popping up in the city. I see the Brap House, best of luck to them. I think that's gonna be an awesome investment, here for a lot of people who ride legally. But I noticed there's one downtown. That just popped up, kind of out of nowhere. An Airbnb. Like, I know in the landlord tenants, they're exempt from that. And a lot of people, they're running it kind of like, not just them, but others in the community are charging by the week or charging by the day, and that's their way around it. Is there any way, Mr. Greco, maybe that the city council can enact something that, like, I'll just say it, Ale Air popped up. I mean, did that come through City Hall for planning or zoning or any of those permits?
Excuse me, what is the name?
Ale Air, ALEAIR. It's Mr. Curran with the Ale House, because there was issues in the past with permitting, if we remember.
I don't know the answer to the permitting question, but I know Councilman McLaughlin had raised the issue as well as other council members. So we're looking at other municipalities that have adopted Airbnb ordinances. We're going to try to look at it, tailor it to fit the needs of the city of Shamokin. It's obviously a concern for all of council as well as the city, but we're looking into it.
I mean, for those Airbnbs, is it Ed Fegley that would be inspecting those, or how do they get inspected by the city?
And that's an option. So I believe that some of the examples we have looked at, it becomes a zoning.
Yes.
There would be a zoning permit required. And then the zoning permit would, if it's an allowed use, he would still have the ability to inspect it, but those are things that we haven't gotten out of the different code or the different ordinances that we've been comparing.
All right, because the answer that always seems to come up there is, if I would have known, I would have done it. I mean, I remember before I got here on council, I caught an issue down there with a residential permit for commercial buildings. And it was just, $10 permit, saying you're doing $15,000 worth of work, remodel 2 buildings. So it's always kind of like, if I would have known, I would have done it. And that's the thing that keeps snowballing here. One sees someone doing it, the other one sees another one doing it. And now all these people are gonna be exempt and landlords gotta pay, but the people that pop up with Airbnbs, there's no real, and that's part of us getting back involved in our own, what's going on in our community and knowing what's going on.
I think there's gonna be, I would think there would be a registration, and it would almost be treated like a rental unit.
Right.
But we haven't gotten that far, but most certainly looking into it, that and the solar
I was
ordinance.
just gonna say that.
Yeah, that and the solar are the.
We have been working, we've been discussing this.
You guys have been doing a lot and you're doing great.
But whenever you find places like this, please let me know, because they also need to be paying business privilege tax.
You're absolutely correct.
If I would have
These
known,
are
I would have
popping
done it.
up a lot.
Yeah.
It's coming, I'm just telling you.
And hotel tax.
Hotel tax, yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of different options. Hey, if they're gonna take part in making money, like the landlords, they get kind of penalized. No. That's like a business, according to the city, as being a landlord. And these other ones are just kind of, hey, we're now an Airbnb, everybody stay here. And it's just kind of
We
like.
do have some legit ones.
And the people that do that, they know
And
better.
it's not fair.
Right.
There's people that are trying to run
Right,
legitimate.
right. Thank you guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? If there's no further business then,
I have one thing.
oh, I'm sorry.
To appoint, I get married tonight, instead of waiting.
Can we?
Yeah, because it's gonna happen anyway, so why not just get it over with and. I don't know how I feel about it.
Can I speak?
Sure.
So, as much as I appreciate that, okay, I'm a rules guy. And I want everyone comfortable with what's going on, and I know for sure Mrs. Moyer would not be comfortable with that. I think we need to go through the process, and I completely agree with that, completely agree with it. I agreed with it when I was appointed to council. I agree, it would be nice to get it done sooner, I do agree with that. But at the same time, I'm a rules guy. So in my book, I said it before, I said I think we need to follow the rules to do it. Just because it's me on the quote unquote receiving end of it, if I would be fortunate enough for that to happen. In my world, I would rather wait the 30 days and no one can question, you know, I don't want any clouds over it. And I completely appreciate
And I'll
it.
tell you why I think, because I would hate to put somebody in there for 6 months and then to pull them back out, to put them back in. That's the only reason.
And I get that, but at the same time, if I'm good enough today, okay, I would hope and pray I'm good enough in 30 days. So on my side of it, I have full faith in Mrs. Moyer.
Oh, no, it wasn't, had nothing to do with her.
No, I'm just saying, I have full faith in Mrs. Moyer to do what needs to be done. I think as a council person, to be prudent. Okay, I think we need to do it the right way so there are no questions on my side of it. And that's just one person's opinion, but that's mine.
If I can interject, in the home rule charter, we're also keeping it the same as Mike just explained it and as it's been done this evening.
And I have no
And
problem.
it's just for transparency. I think we all
But if
understand.
we did,
that.
the only thing I said is we did it, and then 6 months later, somebody gets pulled back out just to put them back in, it kind of wastes
The council,
what we're going.
you as council members still have the authority to appoint them there.
And again, thank you, but.
Now, like I said, that's the only thing
I'll clap for you later. I'm sorry for who has that title in the other community. I can appreciate what you're saying.
Thank you.
Well, no. Now, really, is there anything? If there is not, being no further business, we will adjourn this meeting.
Oh, I guess that's, yeah.